welcome to Media Monks. That awesome tune you just heard was Future World by Comtrues, wasn't it, Paul?
Yep, sure was.
Some excerpt from there. Galactic Melt in stores now. I don't know. I just decided we should start doing that. At least acknowledge the song somewhere. We don't own rights to that. We just think it's great.
Yep, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's how other people do it, who also pull songs from elsewhere and just use little clips from them. Whatever. I don't know how to really... Oh, okay. No, whatever. I guess the music reminds me of Blade Runner. That's why I like it. And that also prompted me to kind of think through the people in Blade Runner would have been born in the 80s, right?
Yep.
So we are those people. It just made me really excited. I don't know.
We are.
2019, just around the corner. Blade Runner in stores now. Do you like that movie?
Yeah, I just haven't seen it in a long, long time.
Okay. Last I saw it, I think, was when the final cut came out.
I think that's when I saw it too.
But yeah. There is some big news this week, but I guess we'll just get media consumption out of the way first.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Otafest, maybe we should just get that out of the way.
I don't know, that's kind of a bigger thing than... Well...
Is it really, though?
It's a pretty big deal, Paul. There's anime.
Okay.
It's not that. I don't know. Yeah, it's a local anime convention, slash other things, but mostly anime and cartoons and things.
Pretty much all anime.
Yeah, which... I'm okay with some anime. I like some movies and things. I haven't really watched a series, but I've been thinking about watching Evangelion for a while.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that. Yeah, I don't know. You didn't really feel the vibe of the thing, and you left pretty early, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had a bad day that day.
Just the bus and stuff, or just there was other extraneous factors?
Well, there's always other factors. I mean, it's been a bad week, but specifically that morning, I took one bus to catch another bus, and the first bus I got on actually completely ignored my request to stop twice.
Like, you pulled the thing, and it's just like...
And then he kept driving, and then I was like, hey, and he drove past another one, and then I walked to the front, like, hey, are you going to let me off, or what? And then he stopped.
Who was this guy? I've never seen a bus driver like that.
I don't know. He, like... When I said that, he's like, oh shit, like he forgot or he was like daydreaming or something. Anyways, long story short, I missed 2 stops. I had to walk about 10 minutes back to the other bus. And as I was walking across the street, the other bus came flying by, so I had to wait 40 minutes for the next one.
That's always, transit, man.
So, I mean, that started it, and then I got there and I was kind of...
late for the thing.
I was late for the thing, but I mean, I was like, you know what, I could still probably make it. I'll be like 10 minutes late. I'll just be that guy that comes in late. It's not a big deal.
I guess the thing being, like, our friend John was hosting a video game show thing.
Yeah, video game showdown or something.
Yeah, Sonic vs. Mario, board game of sorts, RPG Maker. I have half an hour of it on video if you really want to see it.
Well, I'd like to see what it's like, but I mean, more than anything, it wasn't what I missed. It was the fact that, like, I had planned to get there, and it just seemed like the perfect representation of how things have been going for me lately, where, like, everything's just kind of stopping or, like, making it hard. And, like, I just kind of snapped. So, I mean...
My Sunday at the convention, kind of, the energy got sapped out of it in a similar way. Just, like, I missed the thing I wanted, and then it was just like, well, who cares then? And I was just so depressed walking around the show floor. And then I just was like, I don't even know why I'm here.
Well, and then I get there, right? And I message you to ask how long it takes to get registered or whatever. Yeah. And you're like, oh, about maybe 10 minutes or something like that. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be about 20 minutes late now, but that's still fine. And and then I was like looking for the building to get to register. And nobody was helping me out because nobody knew. Like, a bunch of people weren't students there or something. I even asked...
Oh, dude, yeah. When I got there, like, I'm glad I got there early on Saturday, because I was just wandering around campus just lost for, like, half an hour. Because there was, like, no volunteer people around that I could see.
There's no signs or anything. It's essentially
no
what
signs.
I did too.
I guess if there were signs in weird places, like if you went to social sciences, there was just a sign there that said, hey, registration isn't here, it's over here. But
Okay.
I guess
well,
that's
I went
for like people who
went to the center,
year.
McEwen Hall, where everything is, and there was nothing there.
Oh, I know. Like there was stuff there, but it was just a big line to get into the shopping area.
Yeah. So basically, I went to in Mac Hall. I went to one of the little convenience stores and asked the person there, and she was kind of ditzy and tried to explain it to me. And then I
guess to be clear, this is at our local university here in town.
Yeah, so the way I made sense of it was I was just like, okay, just point in a direction and I'll walk that way. And then she pointed, and I was like, okay, thank you. So I started walking that way. I found it, but then I realized that like I had already missed a big chunk of the panel.
Yeah.
And I was going to miss a bit more because I had to wait in line and get signed up and all that stuff. And then I realized, like, is this even worth it? Because as I was walking around, I actually was walking the little artist area floor, not the actual exhibition area, but like where the normal people are outside selling their prints and stuff, which is all I wanted to look at anyway.
Yeah.
And like was going around, I was getting street passes for my 3DS. Like everything I went there for except John's panel, I didn't really need to pay for.
Yeah, even like over the course of my time there, I realized like you could just walk in to some screening rooms and nobody cares.
Yeah, like so I was just walking in everywhere.
Like, you could basically do like 80% of the stuff I did on Saturday for free, like just by wandering around and just being like, no, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. And like people who aren't even supposed to be there, they're fine because it's like, oh, you must just be a student then. You know, because there's still classes going on. So there are people wandering around campus that aren't part of the thing either. So it's not like you stand out in a bad way either. So it's just like, oh, I just ducked into the theater and they were playing anime, so I sat down. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
at that point I was like, why am I even gonna pay for this? Like, screw that. And then that's
just
when
I fund geek culture.
But it's not. And I mean, yeah, I guess it is geek culture. Maybe I just don't like geek culture then. I mean, I don't like it when people call themselves gamers. I don't relate to a lot of people that do stuff like that.
Okay.
So maybe...
What about otakus?
You know what? I almost have more of a respect for them than I do people that call themselves gamers. I don't know why. It's a whole... It's a whole thing.
Who was going around there repping themselves as a gamer?
A lot of people.
Okay. Like, I guess there was the video game space, which I went to.
Briefly. Oh, no, I didn't mean, like, at the expo. Or you
just mean... Oh, no, people in general do. Like, Xbox basically forces you to label yourself that way. But...
And, like, pro gamers, and, yeah, I only drink Monster
Yeah, I was looking at the classifications again. It's, like, recreation, and then there's underground?
Yeah.
Which... I think... What does that mean?
I think
I'm like recreation. A Fallout shelter. It's like, I'm an underground gamer.
I know, it's pretty good.
I only play the, like, legit stuff.
I only play Metro 2033 all the time.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I guess also because it primarily takes place underground, but also it's like, you know, weird European game. That's what I'm into. You probably haven't even heard of it.
Yeah,
like that
exactly.
Kind of attitude.
The Euro gamer.
Yeah, whereas, I don't know, I was playing Max Payne 3. That's a pretty big game, I guess. Rockstar.
Yeah.
So, whatever. The gaming stuff there, like... There wasn't really any structure to most of it. Like John's thing worked out pretty well. That was a good 90 minutes or whatever. Sorry you missed it, but it was fun. Although the table I was sitting at was broken. Fun fact. But overall, like there was no real tournaments or anything that I could see going on. Like there was like cosplay contests and stuff. So yeah, I ended up spending a gross amount of time just watching anime music videos, AMVs. It was basically like watching YouTube for like 5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Well, YouTube back in like 2007 when people were starting to do that.
Yeah, and a lot of them were from some years ago. But I guess it was kind of like curated by some dudes, so it's like, you know, you're getting kind of the cream of the...
Some of those are really good too.
Yeah, some of them were like, man, that was fun. There was a whole hour about Queen, like just Queen music.
Oh, I don't think I would like that.
I didn't know why I stuck around either, but partway through it's just like, man, some of these songs are so goofy. Like it's just like it's the Highlander theme song that was meant for anime apparently because it just fits like a glove or like Flash Gordon.
I could see that. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, some of them were just like, man, that's perfect. You're My Best Friend worked out really well. It was like pets themed, so it's just like dogs and cats and stuff. It's just like, all right, this is amusing. Then there's an hour of pony video stuff, so that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
The Anthology, I was not familiar with that one. It was pretty good. Although we apparently watched the edited version, so...
So now you have to look for the director's cut?
I guess so. Other than that, though, yeah, I really, spent most of my time there, and then I wandered through the main hall area, twice, just because I felt I should.
Mm-hmm.
And partway through, I think, Saturday, I was like, I should replay Luigi's Mansion.
Okay.
So I was looking for that, but they didn't have it. So now I'm kind of on an unofficial quest to find a copy of Luigi's Mansion.
So you know in Mac Hall how there is that area that is actually Mac Hall?
Mm-hmm.
The big concert room that they have stuff in the basement at all the time?
Vaguely. I guess Swamp was there?
Oh, okay.
At some point?
Okay,
Playing
I guess.
But yeah, maybe. I never found it. Someone was asking for directions to that, and I've never seen a show there, so...
Oh, okay. Oh, so you didn't go in there then? During Otafest?
Well, what was in there? Unless
I have no idea. It's one of the things you actually needed to have proof that you paid for. But I'm pretty sure it was just exhibitions and stuff like that, and vendors.
Oh, the vendors. Oh, if that's what that is, then yeah, I did go there.
Okay, I had a big problem with
I guess
paying
that room
money
does have a stage and
to
stuff.
pay money to buy stuff.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, because all that's in there, yeah, there's no giveaways or anything. It's just another area of buying stuff. Not even autograph stuff, which you'd think would be kind of gated. You could get stuff signed there without paying for the Otafest wristband. You could just pay the autograph fee, because that was out in the main area. So I don't know who was organizing this, but yeah, you could kind of cheese the system quite a bit if you really wanted to.
So anyways, I got there, and after realizing all this, I kind of just sat down and was texting you, because I figured, well, if nothing else, maybe I could just have lunch or something with Nathan.
Yeah.
And while I was sitting there, okay, so anime, there's a lot of cosplay that happens in conventions.
A lot of cosplay. A lot of stuff I had no idea what it was, but it was that guy has giant fists. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
that's a thing.
For the most part, I was okay with it until I went to Otafest.
Okay.
I think a big point of contention for me at Otafest was that anime has always been kind of silly. It's always been a skewed cartoon of reality or whatever. There's a reason why they're not realistically drawn in anime. And because of it, Japanese anime specifically has been known to over-sexualize women quite a bit. Very scantily clad, dressed women with insane proportions and stuff.
There's the whole blooming thing, which is that's just unnecessary. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's all a bunch of unnecessary stuff, but I don't really care, because I don't feel there should be any censorship in art, and the way people want to portray that stuff is totally fine. Mm-hmm. What bothers me is when I see little girls trying to recreate that, because I feel that it just completely is disingenuous to themselves, and they don't even realize it, because they think they're just being a character, but really they're just being a whore.
Or they don't realize that the person who made this was a depressed Japanese man or something. In theory, right. I don't know what specifically.
I don't like it when anyone does it, honestly. But at the same time, I realize that even when you're 17, 18, 19, you have an idea of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And even though you might regret some stuff you've done at that time, later on in your life, it's still just kind of that you're dressing up and you're showing off maybe a bit more than you'd like to on a normal day and all that stuff, and that's fine.
I've come into this weird I don't know anymore if I can make a distinction between someone just being quote slutty or something versus someone being just strong sexual identity person. You know what I mean? They're just no, I've embraced this part of myself and I'm fine with it. If you're not, get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got this and I'm proud of it. I'm gonna flaunt it. You know.
Yeah, and you know what? In a way, that's fine, but at the same time, it's my right to say you're an idiot for doing that, right? So
I guess
I don't know.
I guess one thing, like, I didn't notice this aspect of the cosplay for the most part, and I think it's because I never actually stopped and just let it flow around me. I was always
sat there
somewhere
for about an hour, just like
so
people.
if you just stop in one place and then see everyone there walk past you, like maybe you'll see more people that are like, it's a little sketchy. Because like the few theaters I went to and whatever, like it was like, no, you know, whatever. There's some people here that are like, wow, it's kind of cold. I mean, it's not the warmest day, but whatever. But I wasn't too perturbed by anything. I don't know. But I may just not have seen it. Maybe if you pointed it out, I'd just be like, oh, yeah, it's a little weird. But
yeah,
at the same time, maybe they know what they're doing, because, I mean, they dress that way, right? They like that show, presumably.
Yeah, I guess.
So they like something about that character enough to emulate them. I don't know.
Right, but that just shows their... You know what? I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. So, yeah.
More information might be. I don't know.
Basically, if you dress like a retard, I'm going to treat you like a retard.
But you should treat retards with respect, Paul.
I treat real retards with respect.
Okay.
I don't respect people that have skewed realities of their bodies or whatever, but I don't care. I also don't respect a lot of people that believe in certain things, so whatever.
Okay. Fair enough.
I guess. I mean,
I had a decent time.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, Sunday kind of fell apart for me because I slept in, missed the Andrea Libman Q&A, which I'm glad now that, like, sorry, but I'm glad I skipped lunch on Saturday because I at least got to see half of that whole thing.
And she signed your Fleshlight for you there?
Flashlight, Paul. Don't be gross. But yeah, that was a weird thing I hadn't really anticipated happening. I don't know what autographs are for. I don't quite get why someone does that. But I was just kind of like, I get to give Fluttershy money, so that's cool. Oh, right. I should probably get something signed. I don't know. So it came down to like a bookmark or something weird, and the weirdest thing I have is a flashlight / projector thing that I bought in the States for like $6. So I decided to go with that at the last minute, and then the initial like reaction was like, oh, have you seen this video, My Little Brony? And I was like, what? Oh, wait, yes? And that whole video, the big punchline is, yeah, Fleshlight. So,
yep.
I was just, I don't know, not expecting that, and I was like, right, that totally does make sense. Oh, what have I done? But it was fine. Whatever. And then I ended up breaking that very flashlight later that day, so...
Awesome.
Great. Now I have a broken signed thing. I don't know what... Like, I have a poster and stuff. I could have got that signed instead, but just... At that point, you have to get all 6 of them then, or, all 4 people. Or else it's incomplete. And then it's like, I don't care enough for autographs. Do you get stuff signed ever?
I do, but, I don't really understand it either, personally. The times I have, though, it was because I brought something with me, and it was a way to actually meet and talk to the people, like at the Comic Expo. Like, it's different. I got a comic book signed by an artist that lives here in Calgary, and that's just because I really enjoy her work, her drawings and stuff.
Okay.
And, like, I thought it might be kind of weird to just, like, stand there and be like, hey, sup? And, like... I don't know. I've used it always as kind of an excuse or a catalyst to kind of like give me the courage to go up to people and just be like, "Hey, could you sign this?" and "I love this," and blah blah blah, and talk to them.
Yeah. So it was more just the experience of getting a thing signed that I was interested in. It was not so much the thing itself. So now I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's now just that flashlight again. I'll probably have to change the bulb or something.
But now I'm wondering next time if I can just go up to one of those like signing tables and just be like, "Hey man, how's it going?" It's like, "What do you have to sign?" "Nothing. I just want to say, hey, I want to meet you." Like, what would they say?
Okay.
I wonder.
Or like, will that be weirder, or is it just like, oh, that's cool?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Like,
what's the etiquette there?
Yeah, I got my copy of Psychonauts signed by Scott Campbell at the Calgary convention, which, yeah, that, like, when it's like a piece of media, it kind of works, because it's just like, you're not ruining the thing, and, like, it is, you get a chance, like, you break the ice to talk about that thing or whatever. It's like, I like Psychonauts, it's great. but I don't have like a DVD anymore. I donated both of them, and I just have discs now.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't really an option, and like, there's nothing else I have that would really make sense.
Well, like at the expo, I met the undergrads guys, and they signed my DVD. And
yeah, like
I think like in that case, it was kind of cool because it was a way of showing them, hey, I supported you guys. You know what I mean? Like, because the guy even said, as I was giving it to him, is just like, oh, I never get sick of seeing these. So it was like, cool, there you go.
Okay.
So now you know that, like, I'm a fan, I guess, because I have this.
Right. I don't know. That was part of the whole thing. I don't know. I'm still not very used to it, so it probably could have gone better.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just briefly, in addition to that, like, on Saturday there was also some more brony related stuff. There was a panel towards the end of the day where they kind of fleshed out some details on the Calgary exhibition,
mm-hmm.
which will be next year in March.
I'm going to take this moment to say something that might anger some people.
Me, or?
I think My Little Pony is by far, like, leagues ahead of any other anime.
In terms of what?
In terms, like, as I was saying about the whole, like, gender politics and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's nice to see people, like, getting excited about something and not just, like, having 14-year-olds basically show their tits. So, I mean, that's pretty
it's not
good.
really conducive to that kind of overt sexualization. Like, they force it sometimes, which just feels awkward. Like,
you know what? But when they do that, it's usually for, like, the lulz, and it's kind of funny.
I guess. Just, there was an Applejack with, like, a lower back tattoo. That's just weird. I just don't...
A cutie mark, if you will.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, you're cosplaying and you like the show and stuff, but what? Like, it's just... I don't know.
Okay, but see, you know that feeling you have about that person?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about everybody now.
Right. So you're just like, that's just not necessary.
Like, and the thing is, like at PAX and stuff, obviously you've seen some really good cosplay before at other conventions. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen a Samus in, like, the full body armor and stuff, and, like, it was awesome. But then you see Zero Suit Samus with just, like, the skimpy
Skin
little
tight
thing, and it's just like, wow, really? It's like, just because
it's probably easier to do, right?
Right, but, like, if... I don't know, I guess I just don't see the devotion that, like, you were talking about kind of over text to, like,
mm-hmm.
their geekiness, unless you put in that type of time and effort.
Yeah.
It's...
Like, I don't know what the context was, but whoever it was with, like, humongous hands, like, I'm talking about giant metal-looking hand things that are made of cardboard or something. Like, I don't know what anime it's from, but that was dedication.
All of them?
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. Someone was shooting photos specifically, like there was some sort of sparring match happening with someone else with a big gun or something. I don't know. Anime is still something I'm only vaguely familiar with. So I actually did enjoy the AMV experience because you just get to see 3-minute like little crash courses
of a bunch of cool parts,
series or whatever. Yeah, and yeah, tons of shows I've never knew existed. One I don't know the name of, but I hope to seek out. I don't even know why I brought it up. It's like kind of chibi art style, and there's like some purple-haired girl and some blonde-haired girl, and they have guns, and there's a lot of cops, and they're just shooting up the place like crazy. I wasn't sure what it was, but it was like really manic. It kind of reminded me of Dead Leaves, if you've ever seen that movie.
I haven't seen that movie.
It's like a 40-minute just nutty craziness. It's, I don't know. But yeah.
But if Otafest. You know what Nathan's talking about, email us at moviemonks@gmail.com.
Yeah. I googled like purple-haired girl, blonde girl, guns, cops, demons, anime, nothing. Like, just too general. Those terms are not specific enough for anime, so there was just tons of different things that were not.
I'm sure it's a Japanese title. Actually, you know what? I'll ask my roommate when she comes back.
Okay.
Because
yeah, if it sounds
she might know.
Okay. I'd love to know what that was, because it looked interesting. I guess that's it, really, for Otafest. That's, day 2 kind of crashed and burned for me.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my own fault, because I can't sleep during normal times anymore, and I don't know what to do.
Just as a little side note, too, when I finally had enough, I was like, okay, I'm leaving this place. I went to the bathroom because I knew it was going to be a long bus trip back, because, it took forever to get there.
Yeah.
So, when I was in there, totally some guy pleasuring himself in the other stall.
Really?
Yeah, and, like, I was not impressed. I was so angry.
Yeah. Weird.
Like, this whole tone I've had all day, and then getting upset about, like, the over-sexualization of, like, the women there. Then I go into the bathroom and I hear that, I was ready to just, like, I don't know. I was ready to kick the door down and just, like,
You had
punch
the
him
weirdest
in the face.
Otafest experience. Like, man. Whereas I was having, like, a totally fine Saturday, yours just fell apart.
He was not even hiding it. Like, it was loud and proud, and Jesus.
Great. Wow. Yeah, if I had your day, that I take one bus, it was no problem. I got there plenty of time, so I don't know. You have more money though, because I spent $25, $30 for my 2-day pass. So
Well, there you go. I guess that $30 just went to food, so whatever.
okay. Man, all right. So next year,
Just
check it out.
I just wanted to put that in as a little anecdote and
Amazing.
context of how bad that day was.
Great. Okay. Men in Black 2.
Yeah, it was on TV last night. I'm guessing because Men in Black 3 is coming out this week.
Yep. Perhaps it's out tomorrow. I don't know. Depends when this goes up. It's pretty soon.
It'll be out when you're hearing this. It's out tonight, so go see it.
Okay. Presumably go see it. I mean, time travel and Josh Brolin, so that's probably okay.
I think so. In between Men in Black 2, they had like little snippets of Men in Black 3 and like little interviews that this station did, YTV.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that was okay. They talked to the director and stuff, and apparently he would like to make a movie with aliens and dinosaurs.
Oh, there was like some weird poster art going around. I think it was just a fan-made mashup thing, but then someone was like, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
there's just a T-Rex.
Maybe that was him.
Yeah. I haven't seen Men in Black 2 in like a decade, and I remember it not being very enjoyable, but what did you think?
It's fun, better? But it's not good.
Okay.
Worst part of that movie is probably like the end, I guess, where it turns out she was the thing that they needed to get back to space or whatever.
The evil lady?
No, oh my god, what's her name?
From Twin Peaks?
No, the Clerks 2 girl. Rosario Dawson or whatever.
Rosario Dawson's in it?
Isn't that her? I
don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, maybe you can look it up.
I haven't seen it in decades.
Maybe you can look it up while I talk here. But anyways, it turns out that like she's like the princess or the light or the beacon or whatever the hell it is they needed to get to a certain spot before like this alien race or whatever would basically destroy Earth instantly. So I don't know. There's one line where Tommy Lee Jones is basically like saying how it cries or it rains because you're sad. And it's just like that. Yeah, that pretty much sums up my feelings about this whole movie.
Rosario Dawson, no kidding. Laura Vasquez.
Yeah, that's her.
I think I should probably just watch it again. David Cross comes back?
Yeah, he's in it. He's the movie store dude.
Movie store dude?
Yeah.
But he was like the dude at the like pet center in the first one, and he died.
What pet center?
Like, first we need you to prove ownership of the cat, relationship with the deceased, and then he just starts smacking cockroaches and stuff in front of him. And then,
I don't think that was David Cross, was it?
That was 100% David Cross, and it was awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, then he's back in this, and he's just like this.
Maybe he was just cocooned. I don't know.
No, in this he's a totally different character. Then.
Okay.
So
I guess
it's New York. It's a big place.
Yeah. His twin brother. Who knows?
Exactly. And Michael Jackson makes his cameo, but like
what?
That dude's dead.
Agent M?
Yeah.
Man, I just don't remember this movie. I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah, I think you should give it a watch. I mean, do you own it?
Knoxville. No, I own the first one. I bought it on Blu-ray specifically because I love that movie. But
you could probably borrow it if you want next time you're here.
Okay. Okay. Might as well do that.
Oh yeah, it's right there. I'm looking right at it. So yeah,
perfect.
Or we'll watch it or something. I don't know.
Okay. Then you attempted to watch a movie that I quite like.
Yeah, Land of the Lost. It's terrible.
Okay. I get why you'd say that.
Okay, then we're done.
Okay. I think it's pretty funny though.
Yeah, basically, I've never been a huge Will Ferrell fan. There's obviously been exceptions to the rule. Like I like Anchorman, and like a few skits he's done on Saturday Night Live. But for the most part, I can't really stand him.
Mugatu?
Mugatu was good, maybe because he's not there a lot.
Like he's just an extra little flavor in that movie, and it's like
Right,
alright.
like I think Anchorman is the only movie that he actually has the starring role that I can stand him in.
Okay.
So it had that going against it, but I don't know, the dinosaurs and everything looks really bad.
See, I kind of just got into that at some point. Like, I think, like, I don't know much about the show, but it seems to be just kind of like having fun with campy, bad effects at some point. Like, you know,
Kind of like how
throwbacky.
the original Land of the Lost was.
I guess, like, there's some stuff later in that movie that is legit just like, those are terrible alien costumes. But I think they know that, and they're just like, yeah, but this one has Leonard Nimoy's voice, so that's
Oh,
pretty
I
good,
didn't.
right?
I didn't get that far, and I actually
Yeah,
turned it off.
it's late in the movie, and there's just like a giant crab at some point for like no reason, and like Yorma from Lonely Island shows up as like this
Mhm.
weird ape man.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Like, and I like the score quite a bit. Michael Giacchino, he just kind of has fun with weird, silly, kind of I don't know, high camp sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's specifically a joke involving T-Rex urine that I thought was pretty funny.
That's where I turned it off. I was like, I can't stand this shit anymore.
Wow. Whereas I was busting up. So we're probably
Really?
just tuned to different frequencies on the comedy. I don't know.
Two different peas in the same pod.
I guess. But okay. Land of Lost. Is it on Netflix now?
It was on TV. That's why I was watching it.
Okay, I think it might actually. I don't know. I don't remember. But okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a movie in there just because we'll just alternate for this.
Yeah.
Blues Brothers.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, really good. I haven't watched it in a long time. Just cool.
I think I saw it
That's
last
cool.
year sometime.
And yeah, just road trip, crazy car chases, John Candy, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi just being awesome.
So many cameos.
A bunch of cameos. Ray Charles shows up.
Isn't Eric
He fires a
Clapton
gun
in
at
there
a
too?
kid. Oh, I don't remember. I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking of Tommy.
Maybe. I'm trying to think who else really kind of shows up. Carrie Fisher just as this murderous person, which was really funny.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She just inexplicably shows up periodically with some sort of high-powered weapon and just starts trying to murder them, and it's like, all right, this is okay. That car chase through the mall is pretty crazy. They really
Yeah.
went for it on that.
And the music is great the whole time. That happens too.
Yeah. So yeah, that movie's pretty great. I've been flirting with the idea of revisiting Blues Brothers 2000.
It's really disappointing.
See, I don't doubt you really, but like I saw it like 12 years ago or something. I was 11 or no, I would have been 12, 13. And I was like, it's alright. I don't know.
No, what's disappointing is
But I
the
was less
chemistry they
discerning
had
back
in the
then.
first one.
Yeah.
Is, I mean, obviously, since one of them's not there,
Yeah.
like it's you long for a sequel of the first one, but what you get is kind of its own thing.
Because you can't have a sequel to the first one now.
Exactly.
Belushi's gone. So, what are you going to do?
Right.
But, like, I mean, I like John Goodman, so it should work, right? Kinda?
I guess it's one of his worst roles, I think.
You might be right. Like, again, I was just kind of just thinking through, like, when did I become discerning about movies and start saying, no, that was actually garbage.
Oh, it would have
for a while.
It would have been after that came out for sure.
Yeah, for a while I just kind of liked everything. I was just like, no, Dunstan Checks In is great. It's a good movie. It's like, no, dude, no, it's not. You can't tell me that. It's like, oh, okay. That Lassie movie from '93, really good.
Mhm.
It's like, you were 6. You don't know. So, yeah. Maybe it's terrible, but I'll probably check it out at some point just to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, one movie I've never really gotten on board with is Spielberg's War of the Worlds, but how do you feel about it?
I think Dakota Fanning's really good.
Really?
She's really good in that movie.
I just got annoyed with her character because at some point she's literally just standing there gawking at a tripod,
Yeah,
and her dad has to. Like,
I mean,
run
at
and
that
save
point,
her.
it was over.
And I was just like, dude, don't be an idiot. What are you doing? In fact, the sequence that broke everything for me. This movie came out like 7 years ago, so we can talk spoilers.
Yeah. When his kid runs away.
No, when he straight up murders that guy.
Oh yeah.
To protect her or whatever. I was just like, no, that's completely unjustified. You're just an ass.
I think
what are you doing?
To make that resonate a bit more, they could have made Tim Robbins a little creepier and maybe like to the point where he was almost like a pedophile. Yeah,
like if within the confines of like Steven Spielberg's like optimistic attitude and PG-13 rating, like you can't make that dude creepy enough for murdering him to seem justifiable. I suppose
so, because like as they had him in that role, that dude was totally fine. He was just kind of like, you know what, we're gonna fight these guys.
Yeah.
And like if you don't like it, get the hell out.
Get out, yeah. Like they bust in on his hideout.
Exactly.
So they have no right to kind of be like, no, we're taking this place. I'm gonna murder you. It's like, no, what? You're the worst character. Like I just really started hating that movie at that point. And I tried watching it again because like a friend of mine, Ryan, kept insisting like, no, it's actually pretty good.
There are parts of it that are really good,
like visually and stuff, or like.
I mean, obviously visually, because like Spielberg,
and like Industrial Light and Magic doing this, like there's stuff I still remember as being like, damn, that was really impressive, and like the sound effects,
the sound, made, that's pretty amazing.
It's like there was some, or even just like earlier in the movie, there's that big riot where they steal their van and stuff. Like I felt that was pretty cool.
That was pretty good. What thing I really don't like about this movie is I don't understand why the kids hate Tom Cruise so much. To the point where they're just like, oh, we're all gonna die, but we're still not gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
Like, that lasts for quite a while, and I don't know,
like,
it's just
he's
weird.
Been kind of a distant dad or something, but...
But even so, like, distant or not, when the shit's hitting the fan, and you're a kid, you look up to the parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll try it again one day.
You know what? Don't bother. Like, have you seen the original?
Yep.
It's really good.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but...
It's campy as hell, but it's so good.
Yeah.
It has, like, the crazy sci-fi cliche special effects and sounds and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. But, yeah, I don't know. The Dictator, I guess, came out?
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen's new movie. I liked it. Overall, like, it took me a while to recollect that I even saw it, though, so I guess it doesn't really stick in the memory, but...
Mm-hmm.
It's...
None of his movies really do, though.
I guess, yeah.
In my opinion.
I'd probably need to watch Borat again to tell you, like, half of what happens, because I just don't remember.
He makes people uncomfortable.
This movie's not so much focused on that. This is a very scripted comedy, like, it's just more conventional. There's very few bits that are him just kind of wandering the streets improvising or anything, although I'm pretty sure there's a couple sequences where that's what's happening. Yeah, just crazy, powerful dictator of some fictional Middle Eastern country has to come to the States to deliver some sort of proclamation to the UN about his stance on a certain issue, lest he be the target of America's next war or whatever.
Okay.
And then political satire ensues, and it's pretty funny. And Anna Faris is there, and, for some reason I'm still like, yeah, she got a big part in a reasonably big movie, so good for her.
She's doing funny stuff.
Yeah, and she's funny.
Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah.
She's the poor man's Amy Poehler.
You
don't know how to feel about that, do you?
Yeah, I haven't really watched Parks in a while. I kind of lost interest in that show. But
it got pretty good. She's like in a political race now against another candidate.
Yeah, I was never really disliking it, but it's just something about, like, it's like Ron Swanson's great.
Yeah.
But
like it has great little parts, but together it's
like Tom.
Who, Tom? Oh, Tom. Yeah,
Like, I think I just overdosed on Aziz Ansari when his comedy album came out. Like, I just listened to it too much, and now it's just like, I kind of get how this dude delivers jokes now, and it's very rigid. Like, he doesn't... I'm not convinced he actually has any kind of genius in how he does things.
Unlike Louis C.K., who released a new album.
A note to hit. Yeah, like, he can... like, someone can just throw something at him, and he'll just bounce back, because he's just a funny person. Whereas, I'm not convinced Aziz has that quality. Not to be disparaging, I'm just... We'll see. We'll see if anyone cares in 10 years. You know.
You know what people won't care about? Battleship.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Which is kind of too bad. I think you and me were really close on our opinions of this movie.
Like, we almost liked it.
I think we almost had the exact same thoughts in the movie, and, like, your friend was totally, like, against us. Which is fine, because I understand where he's coming from, because it was boring and kind of crappy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you and me wanted it to be more, and gave it way too much leeway.
Right. Like, if early in the movie, like, I got pretty invested in their alien invasion plot.
No, early in the movie, it was nothing but, like, a silly sitcom. It's like, you messed up one too many times, now you must join the Navy.
The first 10 minutes, yeah, that was pretty funny, and how just on the nose that moment was, and then title card. Like, it's just, yeah, brother screws up, older brother, who is ridiculous. Like, I hated the older brother, because he was just spouting cliches nonstop. And he was way too serious about everything. Just starts yelling at him, and then, yeah, you have to join the Navy now. Da-da! Battleship.
Yep.
So, that happened. But the alien invasion plot, like, I just started overthinking every aspect of it, to the point where, like, the movie in my head was genius. Like, it was like, oh man, they're gonna totally reveal this other ulterior thing at the end of the movie, and the last third will be so crazy, because you'll be like, oh wait, we're the bad guys the whole time, the aliens are actually peaceable, what have we been doing? No, why would you think that would be in this movie?
Okay,
spoilers, that doesn't happen.
Let's maybe give some context here to anyone that might not have seen it. There's going to be spoiler talk, but you know what, if you care about spoilers for Battleship, then you've not seen it for the reason you should be seeing it anyway.
Right, like, even, like, I'm assuming in a lot of cases, like, us just describing that there is a plot in this movie
is a spoiler.
Like, might be like, oh, weird, I didn't even think that would happen, so you might be more inclined to see Battleship after we talk about it. I don't know.
So basically the Navy off the coast of Hawaii, they're doing some war games with Japan, the U.S. and Japan.
Backtrack a little bit to the point where I got really interested. It's basically contact is happening. In a way.
Okay, yeah.
Like, they're sending out a large beacon to the closest Goldilocks zone planet that we know of.
And why is it called the Goldilocks zone?
The Goldilocks zone, that's true. Why? Like, not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah,
it totally has similar conditions to us. They find a planet like 20 light years away, or 20 million, I don't know, something. It's a ways away. And they send a big giant pulse out there, which is the most ridiculous scene, really, because that's just a communication beam, but it's like a giant laser, and the whole theater shakes because D-Box. But whatever. Flash forward like a couple years later, stuff starts heading from that planet to Earth, and it crash lands in the ocean during the war games you were describing between Japanese fleet and American fleet. And Taylor Kitsch goes out there, touches it, and then a big dome appears over a certain section of the ocean, basically making it, you know, a game board for Battleship. And there's 3 battleships trapped in there, or destroyers rather, that have to spar off against this thing. Except, at this point, I'm already kind of questioning, like, wait, nothing the aliens have done so far is really that aggressive, so what are we doing? And that's where the movie kind of fell apart for me, because I thought they would actually follow up on that angle, because throughout the movie, there's little bits where the aliens are, like, scanning life forms and stuff, and then not attacking people.
Right.
And I have no idea why those scenes are in the movie. Like, it literally, can't shake the feeling, like, there was a version of that movie at some point that actually paid off on that whole side of it, and then studios were like, no, America doesn't want that, America wants to blow shit up, let's see that. Oh, okay, reshoots, edit in a scene here, done. Now we have a stupider movie. And that's what we have. But you know what? Why would I expect a movie based on the board game Battleship to be anything but stupid? So I guess it's fine.
Because you were hoping for more.
I don't know why I was hoping for more. Like, I'm an idiot for hoping for more from Battleship the movie. But I was. So
I kind of was too. And you know what? It was okay. I mean, I guess...
Point out, you need to mention your observation, because I did not put that piece together, and it is so stupid. But the alien weapons?
Okay, well, Yeah, so basically the alien weapons are mines, but they're totally the game pegs from the game.
Yeah, they like, I didn't even think how dumb that was, but yeah, they just essentially launch a barrage of mines, and they're just twirling in the air, and then they land on the ship, and they plant as though you yourself just put one in one of the little one of the pegs in the little holes.
And then they explode.
And then they sink down and explode. It's like, what? Okay. Like, dumb stuff from the board game that they just find some stupid way to shoehorn in there. Which, I mean, when you're working with a board game, good for you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But, wow. Like, thumbs up to the scriptwriters, I guess, for doing anything remotely interesting.
I think we should answer the 3 questions everybody has.
Okay.
They do not say, "You sunk my battleship."
No, but at one point, a man does use the word sink and battleship in the same sentence.
They're not going to sink this battleship is the closest we get.
Right.
Question number 2, Liam Neeson is barely in it.
But for different reasons. Like, he could be in the sequel if they make one.
Okay.
They won't.
I just find it kind of weird that the admiral of the entire fleet is not in the movie.
He's trapped outside the dome like the entire movie, and he literally never gets a chance to order anything cool to happen. Like, he orders some planes to take off, and that's about it. So
I think the most he does is like yell at the president or whatever
on the phone or whatever. Like, yeah, he's just like, "No, shut up. It's not how this is going down." And hangs up or something. He says it way better because he's Liam Neeson.
And last thing, there is a grid, and they basically play Battleship.
Yeah, at one point they literally have headsets and they're calling out like Echo 11,
Echo 1-1 or whatever.
Navy. Yeah, it was funny. I'm also like, I guess, yeah, there's one scene in the movie that I'm not going to get into specifics about because it was the biggest surprise, I guess. But for me, it was a horrible surprise because it confirmed that the movie was going to go into Stupid Town now and had no interest in following up on the stuff I thought was going on. Whereas I think you enjoyed it. It's like when they go to the battleship and surprise.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so they go to
AC/DC. Go check it out.
Yeah,
man. It made like no money. It made $25 million this weekend.
But Rihanna,
it's gonna fade
Rihanna's
from memory.
in it.
Oh, and Rihanna's terrible. She's so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I was getting enjoyment out of it just because she was there, and I thought that was really funny that she was in a movie. But at some point, that ran out for you guys, I know. But I stayed amused. But at the end, it's like, wow, yeah, there was no character there. That was useless. So, yeah,
and Brooklyn Decker's in it.
Who?
Brooklyn Decker.
Okay.
She's the main girl.
Oh, right, yeah, and she has her own... Yeah, somehow they have this whole subplot about, like, a disabled soldier, and it's, like, taking everything too seriously for me to, like, not find it amusing in some way. Like, it's just like, you put this story in Battleship.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, like,
it was
soldiers missing
just
limbs and stuff
time,
isn't funny, but this is not the place for... I don't know. So, yeah. Okay, Max Payne 3 is great. Check it out.
Yeah, I've been meaning to play through Max Payne 1 and 2.
I'm playing some multiplayer and stuff right now, and I'm playing through it again. I think, like, a few things. I think I will do some write-up for Pixel Response at some point to try to boil down my thoughts to something coherent about it. I'm also just going to suggest anyone playing it who's been a fan of the previous games, play it on easy with free aim mode on to best approximate the experience of the older ones.
Oh, does it have some, like, lock-on thing or something?
Well, it's just... The thing is, they threw in cover mechanics, so they kind of tweak the difficulty to make Max a little more susceptible to damage, and the dudes a little more, like... They stand up a bit more to some of that.
Which goes completely against the running through an open space.
The running through action movie feel of Max Payne 1 and 2. Unless you turn it on to easy mode, in which case you can kind of soak up more damage, run around a bit more, dive on things, which is what I enjoy about that game. While still, you know, having a decent challenge because there's still a lot of dudes. But also, with the free aim, you also get a little more challenge, because, yeah, there's snap-on, like, hold L, trigger to lock, like Call of Duty or something. Targeting is the way I played it by default. Like, the default settings are that's on, and it's medium difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
If you make the aiming a little trickier, but compensate by having your damage, like, do more and you get hurt less, it makes the game more fun. So, and you get more achievements that way too, because most of the achievements are dependent on you doing free aim stuff. So I screwed up. Like, playing through it the first time, I got like nothing. I got like 3 achievements the whole game for each act completion. And then I've already gotten that many again by chapter 3 in the first act by playing it this way. So yeah, if you're going to do that, do that. I'm continuing to play Animal Crossing. I think that game's great. There's a carpet sale on the 25th, so check that out. You can't. I can. I don't know. Have you ever played it?
Long time ago, but I don't own it, so I never played through it.
Okay. You can't really win. You just keep playing until you're tired of doing it anymore.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear it's really good, too. I don't know. It seemed okay.
Something about it's just stupid charming to me right now. I don't know. It fits my mood right now perfectly. So
that's good.
Fishing, I just got an axe today, so I can better sculpt the tree, the forest and stuff, make an orchard. So I'm having a good time. And I played through some of Azura's Wrath, which fits well with the anime thing this week,
I guess.
But
yeah.
I didn't get to finish it, which is probably my only regret with it, because I was kind of unofficially borrowing it from John as kind of a means of getting it back to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I only got to play through the first third of the game.
Pretty good though, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Just weird, crazy stuff happens. Like having played that demo though, I'd already seen some of the nuttier stuff, so the first 4 chapters or something seemed pretty boring. Because it's just he's flying through space and stuff, but I know how crazy this gets, so come on, make with good stuff.
Let's do it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's certainly ramping up, and apparently I haven't seen anything yet, because I've only played the first 9 episodes, so yeah, I'm feeling where it's going. I'll check that out at some point. But okay, big news story, this is, man, I'm going to say a heartbreaker. I'm not sure how much you've read into what's all happened, but
I think it's just stupid.
It's pretty stupid. So we've brought it up a bunch. It's just one of our regular shows on here. Community, great show, one of the best.
Probably my favorite on TV right now.
Yeah, it does actually really smart continuity stuff within the confines of a comedy show, and I just don't know anything else that quite does that. But
it's
apparently
probably not going to anymore, though.
Yeah, just the weirdest roller coaster of emotions this past week in relation to this, because it was just announced pretty much that they were going to renew it for season 4, which was in question, because the mid-season hiatus this year, everyone was kind of nervous that the show would just get straight up canceled. Then it came back for the last little bit, closed out the season really well. I mean, you haven't seen the last 3 yet. I just watched them yesterday. They're pretty great. But that almost makes it worse because they fired the showrunner of the whole thing, Dan Harmon. So whatever's coming back, next year, no idea what it's going to look like. And everyone's just kind of super scared right now because it's just is it better to have the show just kind of end? Or have some weird zombie version of the show that's going to horribly just mess up all our memories of what was great about the show? Presumably, because people are fearing the worst right now, but they kind of have good reason to with all the stuff that's happened. I'm just going to briefly go over it.
Yep.
So yeah, Harmon's gone, and he posted a big blog about it, saying oh no, don't take any solace in oh, maybe he'll work. He's still overseeing producer or something, so maybe he can still work on it. He's no, that's literally just a bogus title they gave me just to kind of make me feel better. I get to not touch the show at all from now on. I'm not allowed to work on the show. And also he just wasn't really informed. No one called him or anything to tell him this happened. It was just kind of no, you're just not going to come back. Apparently his contract had technically ended and they just didn't call him again.
Yeah.
Which, man. Also, after, kind of around him leaving, executive producers Neil Goldman and Garrett Donovan left, writer-producer Chris McKenna, Dino Stamatopoulos, I can't really remember his name, Starburns.
Right.
He's gone. He was also a writer at times. And also Anthony and Joe Russo, who were kind of pretty involved in the show as well. They were directors and stuff. So, those people are gone too. The cast is still there. Some of the writers are still there, but I just don't know.
A laugh track.
Yeah.
To let everybody know when they have to laugh.
I just don't know how they're going to retool it or whatever. The 2 guys they put in charge are David Garaccio and Moses Port, who I've never watched any of their shows. They Happy Endings.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I think it was basically a TV like expansion of this movie I saw with Steve Coogan in it.
Okay.
Lisa Kudrow's in it. It was from like 2005.
Oh, is
they
it
also
like a rub and tug place?
Is
it like based on a rub it and tug place?
Oh, there's some discussion about like a massage thing is like one part of that story, but I can't really.
Well, I'm
remember.
just thinking Happy Endings, you know.
Yeah. That is the exact pun they're going with. Or
yeah, that's what I was basically getting at.
Yeah. They also worryingly like at first on their list it just says the IT Crowd, and I was like, oh, well, all right.
The unaired pilot.
The American one, which was apparently just a horrible bastardization of everything and was awful. So that's great.
The IT Crowd's really good.
Yeah, the legit article is really good. Is that pilot available anywhere? Have you seen it? Because like
no, I don't know.
Just I hear awesome things about awful pilots sometimes. Like I really want to see what they tried to do with Spaced over here. Because apparently it was
I would love to see that too, actually.
Offensively just gross. Despite Joel McHale's in it, which is great because he's now in this show. But yeah, so those guys are in charge now. No one's entirely happy about that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just put the series in this horrible, weird spot right now. Because I was pretty happy they were bringing it back at all. Like, I mean, 13 episodes isn't great, but it's better than nothing. But now knowing that they're not really like they could totally lose the tone of it instantly. Like I was thinking, like for Abed, like his whole character is like being extremely aware about television constructions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they basically have to have him acknowledge the change for it to make sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, he knows so much about shows and like being retooled and stuff, or weird cancellations or creative staff being fired just because he's a TV guy. So if you just have the show with like him being kind of weirdly silent on that issue, I don't know if I can deal with it. Like, I'm just imagining when this comes back in 2013 or whatever, like it's just like 10 minutes in the first episode, it's just like, nope, they ruined it.
Do you think the intro will be different?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean they do different ones every now and then. Like they did another one this week with one of the final episodes. Episode 20 is crazy, dude. You need to watch it.
Is 20 the one that starts off with like they're about to play a game with 7 people?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one my PVR recorded. I'm downloading 21 and 22 right now.
Okay, episode 20 just blew my mind with how crazy inventive they got with like video game stuff. It's amazing. And also, have you watched much Breaking Bad?
2 seasons.
Okay, has Gus shown up yet? No. Okay, he's kind of like a big antagonist in that show. The actor is legitimately really good, despite some of my feelings on the plot direction of season 4 of that show. But he's pretty great, and he shows up in this episode, and he does a good job. Which again, the thing that sucks though is like everything that delighted me about those episodes as I was watching them just immediately bummed me out because like that might just disappear. Right. So it's just like, man, that was really clever. Oh wait, right. Like just every time, like, and there's some revelations in the last episode that were like super delightful, but they might not be followed up on at all because all of this stuff happened. So yeah, I've been pretty angry about it. And Harmon basically said like, it's even like 2 years ago, like he was saying like, hey, if the show ever gets canceled, do not resuscitate. You know, don't do that. It'll just ruin it. So don't expect a Futurama type resurrection a few years from now or something. I guess Comedy Central did buy the first 3 seasons for syndication, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
So they'll get out there more.
Harmon's still going to get paid like royalties and stuff on the stuff he's done, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, like his name still be attached to it and stuff. So hopefully he'll like if the show kind of finds its legs later in a more traditional sense. Like I guess everyone's just watching online. Like tons of people are watching it, but no one's watching it the right way. So the studio just doesn't know what to do with it. Which
that's really irritating.
Like I watch it online too, but then I buy the DVDs. But I guess that doesn't really help them as much as ad revenue or something. I don't know. Like I'm kind of frustrated because within my social circle, it is one of the more talked about shows, the most probably. Like, as far as I know, no one watches Mad Men, but everyone watches Community, based just on my social circle. Because I can't find anyone I can talk to. Yeah. Wait, what's easy to get into?
Community.
It is easy to get into if you start at the beginning, which is easy to do. But that's one of the big things the show was criticized for, is being hostile to new viewers. And watching some of these episodes, like, I kind of get what they're talking about. Because there are moments in all three of these closing episodes that make no sense unless you've watched all of it.
Okay, but that could be said about any HBO show ever.
Any HBO show?
Yeah, like, I'm not going to watch Mad Men right now until I catch up. Like,
are we talking about Mad Men, or are we talking about Community?
I'm talking about Community. We're talking about Community, but what I'm saying is, like, they're not retooling Mad Men and stuff, so they should just fuck off.
I know, like, I'm just saying that expectation of the audience, I guess, just doesn't really exist in network TV that much. Except, like, Lost did it. You know, like, they would... It's, like, highly... You need to be on board the whole time. I was actually thinking, like, would this whole problem have just been avoided if they had a previously on Community, like, 30 seconds at the beginning?
Probably not.
Would that have helped? Okay.
They're probably not getting enough money that they think they should be getting because they don't want to change their stupid business model to include people on the internet somehow.
Right.
So... Like, people are torrenting it instead of, like, being able to get it through legitimate means so that they could get advertising. And I guess
it's been doing really well on, like, Hulu and stuff. Like, it was voted best new show last year.
But then, of course, in Canada, we're fucked.
Or best show.
And we have to torrent.
I know, like, there's not a lot of means for seeing that kind of stuff up here, which is, you know...
Until these companies get their shit together and start providing stuff on the internet for everybody, it's always going to end up like this.
Right. It's a bummer to see this happen to, like, a show I've kind of been with this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's one of the few shows I actually started watching, like, pretty shortly after it started, season 1. So it's been, like, I've been there for the whole ride, and it's just like, no, what's happening? Like, I feel like this must be kind of what the Arrested Development audience went through. Because I wasn't there when it was going on.
Through, like, one season?
Well, 3 seasons.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the same thing happened. Like, it's like, clever show... The people that like it love it, and the network just doesn't really get it and cuts it off way too soon. And it's just like, So, yeah, I wish they could just evolve faster and figure out that, no, there is an audience. Look at all these Twitter followers. Look at what's happening on Reddit or something. Like, but that doesn't equal money, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
I guess, apparently Sony's mostly to blame for this. Like, NBC... Like, there's one quote from the management that was like, oh, I'm pretty sure Harmon can still work and stuff. Like, they're just kind of ignorant about what's going on. Like, someone higher up the chain is making these calls. So, yeah.
The same guy that makes Will Smith do GDC announcements.
What?
The same dudes that, like, just make Will Smith do announcements at GDC and stuff. People that aren't in touch with what's going on at all.
Yeah.
They're just like, this makes money, send him here. This doesn't make money, fire him.
Will Smith was at GDC?
No, not GDC. What the hell was it? CES?
Really? The Consumer Electronics Show?
Yeah, I can't remember why. It was something stupid. But the other Will Smith was saying something about watching a thing that he presented on.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah, 2 Will Smiths in one building.
Tested.com. Check it out. It's a great podcast. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, at some point there's just a miscommunication happening that. Oh well.
You wrote a lot in our show notes about this. You wrote quite a bit in our show notes about this.
I know. So many different elements of the story kind of came up as I was thinking through it, and it's all I've been thinking about the past couple days because it's just like, is there nothing we can do? Can we just? Like, I saw that movie UHF, you just have a big pledge rally, and then you buy it from the bad guy. Yeah, or the Muppets. You just kind of buy it back from the evil Baron, and then you give it back to Dan Harmon, and then, yay! And then you hoist him up on your shoulders, and it's a big party. And it's great. But, I don't know. I honestly don't know what would the realistic number be for buying a show that's still on from NBC.
It would be huge.
Like what? Like 100 million?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I have no idea, but to just buy the property back would probably be quite a bit.
Yeah, but I'm just like, Kickstarter and stuff, just get people together, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, if you're willing to pay $1,000 per person, we can save community.
I'm really tempted to just take your show notes here and post it on Pixel Response as your ideas about it.
Oh, man. It's really
pretty
angry
funny.
Okay. It's...
And I quote, fuck you, NBC. Even if this isn't entirely your fault, fuck you.
Yep. It's 2012. People watch things on the internet now. Realize that. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Post full episodes on your website, man. Then we can watch it in the territories, and you can see, have some banner ads or something. Do that.
Yeah.
Ad revenue.
Don't they get ad revenue based on, like, hits?
Yeah, do that.
And why aren't they doing
and
like web
episodes? Why are you cutting out
that?
the rest of the worlds? Why is it always the States only? I don't get it. Put some picture packs up on Xbox Live and I'll buy that. It's like, I got Abed. It was $1. I don't care.
I will not do that, but yeah.
I would do that just to vote with money because that's all they care about.
I guess, yeah.
And also Abed's pretty great. And they play video games.
Abed's pretty good.
It's perfect. But okay. So yeah, I don't know. Bad news all around, I guess. The show's basically over, but hey, those last 3 episodes were great, huh? So good. Watch those.
Yeah, I mean, I will. I don't know if I can agree with you yet, but I'm sure I do, so watch them.
Yeah, and I guess we're still early enough maybe in this happening that maybe we can turn it around, but it's such an uphill battle at this point, like, I don't even know.
Is it even worth it at this point?
Yeah, the shred of, like, kind of cool news is Dan Harmon at least has another thing going on, Rick and Morty. It's an animated show.
Okay.
So he has another project he can go to, and you can still get his brand of comedy somewhere, but yeah. Oh, and none of this was Chevy Chase's fault. Everyone has basically said that.
But you know what? It probably was. It probably was a factor.
No, don't. I don't know. Like
I'm not gonna say
maybe
it was
like,
I'm not
like
saying
maybe
it was
it's like, oh, we don't
factor.
like this negative press coming towards our show or something.
Not even that, or like maybe Chevy just said something like, or maybe the executives are like, you know what, Chevy's probably the only reason people are watching this, when really he's not at all the reason.
Or who knows? Like, yeah, they're old enough that they might
that they recognize
foolishly mistake that. I don't know.
This is why
why are they getting mad?
Be allowed to do stuff.
Right. This is why we can't have nice things. Like, it's that old cliche. Like, this is
rich old white men running stuff, and all they can relate to is Chevy Chase. So if he gets in a fight with somebody, everything gets shut down.
Although that is pure conjecture. Jim Rash said that wasn't what happened. So
no, I'm saying that's what happened. Fuck them.
But Jim Rash is on the show. But okay, man, yeah,
I got the pulse
like
of the industry though.
Right. I hope what comes back for season 4 is actually good, but people have basically been saying Scrubs season 9, which apparently you don't like Scrubs at all.
Yeah, so that means nothing to me.
That means nothing to you, but they completely retooled that show apparently and just fell apart instantly. So people are saying it might turn out that way.
Don't you need to be together to fall apart?
Yeah, if you don't watch Community, it's on Netflix. Season 1 is on Netflix.
Actually, I think season 2 is too now.
It wasn't last I checked, but I hope it does soon, because then more people, like, once that hit Netflix, like, everyone I knew was watching it. Like, it was just like, oh man, this is great. It's like, I know, it's great. And then everyone was on board for season 2. And, like, that they kind of stopped catering to making that accessible has been really disappointing.
They did season 1 on Netflix really soon after it aired.
Yeah, so
that was really good idea.
It seemed like a big moment for that show, at least around here. People were getting into it, but I guess Canada don't count for nothing. I don't know.
But I mean, you could use that as an example of what happens when you actually include Canada, because that's what got like the 3rd season and 2nd season ready to go, right? Because people were watching. Right.
Yeah, and obviously the cast is really bummed out by all of this. They've been tweeting up a storm about it. Man, looking at it now, $16.99 for seasons 1 and 2, like each. Get that. It's on Amazon. Like, how are they making money off of that, though?
$16.99?
Yeah.
So they're making, like, what, $1 per sale?
I don't know.
Because
like,
Amazon,
that's a really low profit
Amazon's
margin.
at least making $3 or $4 of that.
Yeah, so I have no idea why they're priced so low. But they're priced low, maybe that'll help. I don't know. I have both of them. Alright. Community, watch it. It's really great. So good. That's it for us,
It was so good.
It was so good. and now it's gone-ish. Maybe we'll see. Write your congressman.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly recap because I have no other place to do it. Indie games, check out Scapegoat, Decay, and Tempura of the Dead. Sonic 4 Episode 2 is pretty good. It looks nice. It plays fine. Lone Survivor has a glitch in it. I'm trying to see if I can get that fixed. Oh, and Diablo 3 is okay.
Do you want to elaborate on Diablo 3? Did you have any problems with the server stuff, or?
I had no problems with the server stuff, but it's Diablo 2.5, so there you go. If you like Diablo 2, you'll like it.
You didn't find the pony level yet?
Not yet. One day.
Okay. Nightmarity. That's pretty good.
But yeah, email themoviemonks@gmail.com. You can reach us on Twitter @themediamonks, and look for us on Stitcher. And I think that's it for this week.
Okay. Sorry for hijacking it with a big community depression train at the end, but it's all like, so okay.
It's very sad, but we'll
be
back next week and we'll talk more about community, I'm sure. So
enjoy Future World.